Hi everyone, it's Alchemystic, and wanted to do a quick video to, number one, reintroduce myself, number two, talk about what's going on and what I will be posting here on out, as well as what's been going on the past couple of years. So I know it's been a couple of years since I've posted a video. I may or may not be taking some of my old content down, but probably not all of it. And the reason why is I did try to go back into doing the tarot readings like I was before, back on Instagram not too long ago, but it's just not what I'm resonating with anymore. So a couple of years ago, as you guys know, I was definitely going through my spiritual journey. I was going through my Twinflame journey. I helped a lot of people in that journey basically either get back with their twin flame or they got with someone else, brought someone else into their awareness. Now, my thoughts on twin flames are completely different than what they were a few years ago, and I will be doing a video on that, as well as some of the truths that I personally believe in regards to tarot, in regards to, like I said, twin flames, soulmates, all of the things. That's all to come. Now, the one thing that I may do is I still might do tarot readings. However, they will be much different than they were in the past because of the way that I think about them now. And I will be doing a video on that, on my thoughts on tarot, what I resonate with now, and how I'll be going about it. And if you enjoy that, cool, you can stay with me. If you don't, I wish you all the best. And I know there's plenty of other readers out there for you. Now, going into my thoughts a little bit here on what has changed for me. So back end of 2019, I went through a quote unquote twin flame journey. I had met my quote unquote twin flame. We dated for 6-8 weeks, something like that. And then he quote unquote separated and ghosted and all of the things, and then ended up coming back around. Now, most people in that community believe that that's you coming back into union and all these things. My thoughts are not that anymore, okay? And again, I will be doing a video on that. However, I want to keep this one pretty brief and just go over the main points of what's changed. So my thoughts on twin flames have changed. My thoughts on soulmates have changed. My thoughts on, like I said, tarot has changed. Now, I went through that journey, and then I started doing the tarot readings and videos and started doing twin flame coaching. Towards the end of 2020 is when I started everything. That was started on Instagram, and at first I started it as a hobby. I didn't expect people to want to actually pay me money to do tarot readings, to do anything like that, but that's what it ended up being. And for a while, I really resonated with it. I really liked it. I really digged it. I was helping a lot of people. There's a lot of testimonials over on my Instagram if you'd like to check that out. But what I was finding is I was really doing what my soul was bringing me to do. And that is to teach manifestation. Because literally everything boils down to that. Everything boils down to law of attraction, law of assumption, all of those sort of things. And this is where I'm getting at. So I'll do a separate video on tarot, but I want to say quickly that I personally believe that tarot is something that you manifest. So whenever you look at my videos or someone else's of these tarot card readings on YouTube, you might think, oh, well, I never looked up tarot readings before, and this tarot reading popped up in my awareness on my feed, right? You manifested it. And that's why, even though it's a quote unquote general reading, it's a quote unquote, reading for the collective, if you will, it resonates with you because you manifested it. So those messages you're going to resonate with because you created it. And I'll do a whole different video on that, but that's my main point, is that that's really all tarot is. That's really all psychics are. That's really all messages are, is you create them. So whether it's a good outcome, a bad outcome, you created it. But again, I'll go into a different video on that topic in a different video. But so if I do tarot readings, it will be just sticking to the point of you created this. This is your message, right? And you can kind of go from there. And then I'll have some other videos on, if you don't like the outcome of your readings, how you can change it, because you're in control at every given moment. There is nothing outside of you in control of you and your reality. Again, I will do another video on that as well. I have so many video ideas to do for you guys. I have so much content that I need to make. So going back to what I was saying, I went through my twin flame journey. I quote unquote went through separation, quote unquote, brought back in union. He came back. But then after that, I realized what it actually was. And I did a lot of healing. I did a lot of healing work. I worked on myself, and I've continued to work on myself. I lost quite a bit of loved ones myself personally from 2020 until 2023. So just last year. And the other breaking point for me was losing my adoptive mother just last year. And after that, I took a look in the mirror and I was not myself anymore. I was obese at the time. I was miserable, to say the least. And basically, I decided to make a difference. I started to make a change, and I wanted myself back. And I could tell you now, it's been a little over a year since that decision. I'm now in healthy range as far as weight. I am getting to be very fit. I did a lot of physical changes. I did a lot of health changes. It's a lot of things that I've worked on. And I will be doing videos on that, because this will go into manifestation as far as physical changes and as far as health. So that happened. And then I started to go back onto Instagram and do my story readings and do a little bit of content. And I just wasn't resonating with it, because even though my messages always resonate with people, because that's my assumption. My assumption is that my readings are amazing. My readings always resonate with people. It's the exact message that they need. And then what happens? Those are the type of clients that I attract, right? And I'll go into this in another video, but in a little bit more detail. But I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And the reason why is I want to teach what I've learned over the past couple of years, is that this all boils down to what the greats teach. Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, right? Those are the greats. Like, if you watch any law of assumption, law of attraction, manifestation content, and you're listening to a lot of these coaches out here, really, you can just go to the source. You can look up Neville Goddard's teachings. You can look up Joseph Murphy, and you can go to the source. That's their source majority of the time, right? So what happened with me is a few years ago, I had discovered Neville Goddard. And this was actually, it was around 2019. It was around my twin flame experience, which is ironic, right? And instantly I resonated with it, and here's why. All of my life, I have been more aware than most people. All of my life, I have been very spiritual. I was raised Southern Baptist. And of course, that came with going to church, right? As a child, I was called a prophet because I would quote unquote predict things, which now I know I wasn't predicting them, I was creating it. Or I'll go into a video on this. It's not really creation, because creation is finished. However, I was shaping my reality, if you will, to that, to make my prophecies real, right? And this goes back to as far as when I was 3 years old. and that's when I could, talk to adults in a way where they could somewhat understand what I was saying. And I would tell them things and then they would come true. And so they called me a prophet. And of course, I was taken to church every Sunday, sometimes Wednesday, church camp, all of the things. And then when I was around 12 years old, I actually read the Bible multiple times, unlike most Christians. And I noticed what I interpreted from the Bible was completely different than what the preacher was preaching. So I started questioning things. I started questioning the pastor. I started questioning my mom. And those that were raised in that type of environment know that's a big no-no to question things to the pastor, especially coming from a child and especially a female child. So needless to say, my mom stopped taking me to church. I started reading on other religions, paganism, Wicca, Buddhism, Judaism, you name it. And I saw that all religions are saying the same core principles, the same core things, is that no matter what you resonate with, and I use these words interchangeably, so if you don't like any of these words, my channel's not for you. You are God, you are source, you are the universe, you are spirit, you are higher self, you are Allah, whatever you resonate with having a human experience. Period. There is no one outside of you that is not you, including me. So including me, you're watching my video right now and your perception of reality, I am you talking to you. You manifested me. You manifested me giving you this message. You manifested me saying all of the things that I've already said. This is what I've come to terms with. This is what I came to realize. When I first started coming to terms with this and I was telling other spiritual people, they were calling me crazy, right? But then again, I discovered Neville Goddard and he was saying the same things. And this is a man that was a spiritual teacher back in the 1930s. So I will be talking about his teachings. I will be talking about my own experiences with manifestation and law of assumption. I will be talking about my friends, people that I know, and even clients. So what I'm getting at is when I was doing the tarot readings in the past, and I was doing them professionally, people were paying quite a bit of money to come have tarot readings with me. And I'm sure some of them are still following me. I'm sure some of them can comment on this video and, talk about that. A lot of times they would come to me, I would do the reading, but then I would see, oh, you actually need to work on this and think about this in this way. And basically I was teaching them manifestation. If you go to my Instagram, you go to my, my testimonials or feedback, I forget what I called it on there and I'll have to look. You'll see that a lot of them talk about how they manifested something from my coaching. They came to me for a tarot reading and then I went into manifestation. So I just want to cut out the middleman. I want to go straight into coaching. I don't know how I'm going to go about it exactly yet. And that's what I'm figuring out. And that's why it's taking me so long to do this. Those that are close to me know this, but I actually left my corporate job 3 months ago. And I've been taking this time to really focus on self. I've been in deep meditations almost daily. And I've really been trying to focus on what exactly I want with this channel, what exactly I want to help people with. And I am going to keep it where I am Alchemystic Anomalist. I'm not going to show my face. If that's something that you don't jive with, I'm not for you. And the reason why I'm sticking with that is because when I started this whole thing back in 2020, I was called to do it in this way because I don't want you to look at me as above you. I don't want you to look at me as something outside of you. I don't want you to look at me as a false god, right? The Bible says not to worship false gods. That's for a reason. It means idolizing someone else above you, because everything that is coming out of my mouth is just you. So I am not above you, right? And that's why I don't care to show my face, and I don't care to go by anything other than Alchemistic. Alchemystic Anomalist was a name that came to me back in 2020 when I started everything, because I was trying to think of a name to go by that people wouldn't, focus so much on the name, right? Because what is a name? It doesn't really matter, right? And I know that this video is all over the place, and this is my style. Anyone that knows me knows that I am all over the place when I talk, but I always have good points that come out. So if this is for you, all I can say is go ahead and subscribe and like this video and join me. Give me some feedback. In the comments, tell me what type of content you would like. I am going to be focused on manifestation content. I can still go into spirituality content. And like I said, I may still do tarot. I might keep some of my old tarot videos up, but I will be putting notes on them saying everything that I'm saying, and I'm going to link it back to the video that I'm going to make about tarot. I'm also going to do a video that's on the truths of psychics and psychic readings. Literally everything. I have a list of everything that I'm going to be producing and putting out. And this video is already at 16 minutes, almost 17 minutes. So I'm going to keep this very short and brief. I just wanted to talk about what's been going on and what I'm planning on doing. Now, going back to what I just said is I left my corporate job 3 months ago, and it's taken me 3 months just to do this because I wanted to make sure it was right. I wanted to make sure that I'm doing things in the right way. And honestly, I don't even know if this is in the right way because I'm still winging it. I'm doing a one shot here of recording my audio, and then I'm going to make a video out of it and I'm going to post it. But this is what I feel called to do. And people might ask, well, how are you living if you don't have an income? Great question. Because of the manifestation that I do, especially in regards to finances, and I will do a video on manifesting with finances if you'd like, or manifesting money, because that's the easiest thing for me. The easiest thing for me is manifesting money. So I will do content on that. And basically I had investments that I just cashed out, and I've got enough to live on for a year. So now, what is that, 9 months? I've also have manifested money out of thin air, and I will do a video on that, but just really quickly, I was talking with another friend of mine, and I will be talking about him. I actually went to him. He's another manifestation coach, and now I consider him a friend. I always want the best for him, and I think he's doing amazing work. I will be talking about him in future videos, and I will be linking him in my videos when I talk about him. But I actually went to him for coaching because I had kind of fell off of my own truth and just needed reminded of it, and that's exactly what he did for me. So what was my point with that? So yeah, I was talking with him and telling him how I can manifest money out of thin air. And I said, for every $500 I spend, I get $5,000 back, because for every amount of money that I spend, I get it back tenfold if I spend it on myself and my development. And literally a week later, I got a check in the mail for over $5,000. So I'll make a video about that, so that way people that need quick money can understand how to do that. Now, me doing that in a week, that's taken practice, okay? The time frames are up to you. It's how quickly you can get into that state, but I will talk about that in that video, because now this video is almost 20 minutes. So I'm going to keep this short here. This was just filling everybody in on what's been going on the past couple of years, but I will be posting more content. Please comment below what you might want to see in regards to spirituality, manifestation, all of that jazz. And I'll consider doing more tarot, but it's going to be in a very different way if I do that. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to join me. I definitely appreciate that. You can subscribe and like my video. And I will see you guys in another video here soon. Take care.